President Donald Trump made it very clear he wants to see immediate price relief for the American people. This means the price of food comes down. This means the price of homes, whether it's rent or mortgages, it comes down. Bring interest rates down as well. He wants to ensure we're producing more oil, which means drill, baby, drill. He says that we need to bring prices down for transportation. Again, this means the cost of fuel. This also means the cost of vehicles as well, which likely means more manufacturing here in the United States. Now, there's been a lot of questions regarding the tariffs that we could potentially see on February 1st. Are we going to see a 25% tariff on goods coming from Canada and Mexico, but also 10% on top of what's coming in from China as well? Well, there's a lot of speculation there, but here's what we do know. Donald Trump, okay, this is his presidential action, says delivering emergency price relief for American families and defeating the cost of living crisis. That is what he put out just 3 days ago. Well, what his administration has already done in just 3 days is actually going to push prices down on big things like shelter. This means your home, whether it's a rent or a mortgage, it's likely going to come down in the next handful of months. The same thing for fuel and for food. I'll explain why in just a moment, but all I ask is one thing. Takes 2 seconds. Go ahead, hit that like button if you enjoy these daily updates. And now, let's begin. So it's crazy to think that in just a handful of days, 3 to be exact, President Trump has done something that the Biden administration struggled to do. Bring prices down. Yeah, President Biden did pass certain bills. He called it the Inflation Reduction Act. Didn't really help with inflation, actually made it worse. But there was something that was going on behind the scenes that we knew was happening, but didn't realize the effect. And it actually has to do with immigration. I'm going to get to that in a moment. But look at this right here. It says Trump's push to use tariffs to pay for tax cuts faces opposition in Congress. What we are now facing is Democrats are fighting against Republicans. According to reports just from yesterday, Democrats and Republicans are not getting along because Republicans are saying that you had the power. You could have passed these bills. You could have fixed the economy, fixed the United States, and made the U.S. even better. But you didn't because of your own agendas. Well, look at this. This is what Donald Trump is demanding immediately. It says President Donald Trump says he'll demand that interest rates drop immediately. He wants to bring down the cost of living. There is a cost of living crisis that we are facing right now, and it has to do with supply and demand. There's not enough supply of food, homes, fuel, and yet there's too much demand for food, homes, and fuel. That is why we have a crisis. Well, here's what Donald Trump did just the other day. He signed an executive order that is now allowing ICE agents to go in to even sanctuary cities like New York, Denver, Los Angeles, Boston, and they are arresting illegal immigrants. According to experts, this is actually going to bring down this cost of living crisis. Okay? It's going to bring costs down for food, fuel, and your homes. Listen to this. It says the Trump administration is working rapidly to deport millions of people from the United States back to their home countries. ICE agents have already started what they are calling the removal of the worst of the worst. And with this, it is going to open up apartments and homes all over the United States. We believe that removing thousands of people all across the U.S., it is going to bring supply back to the market and restore prices where they should be. Now, I want to play you a couple clips. Look at this right here.
This new Trump administration, ICE officials tell me they're taking what they call a worst first approach, meaning they're going to target the worst of the worst criminal alien offenders first.
So there you go. They're going to target the worst of the worst. They're going to take them from their apartments or their homes. They're going to pull them and deport them. Now, this isn't something that anybody ever wants to see, that somebody, and it might be getting ripped away from a family member. But again, this is what these people have known is coming. If they committed a crime, there's a very high likelihood they would be sent back to their home country. Now, the tough thing is, if they are coming from a country that doesn't really get along with the United States, well, they could be here in the U.S. a little bit longer, according to reports. But listen to this one now as well.
We're going to be targeting some extremely violent offenders today.
Within moments, the officers are on the move, with eyes on their first target.
Looks like we got movement, target vehicle coming out.
They quickly take him into custody. He's an MS-13 gang member wanted in El Salvador for aggravated murder.
So right there, this guy is wanted in El Salvador for aggravated murder. He's an MS-13 member. Yeah, that is what ICE is calling the worst of the worst.
And he has an Interpol red notice out for his arrest.
Just so you know, because they do bring this up quite a bit, Interpol red notice is simply just a request for law enforcement anywhere in the world to locate and arrest any person that's wanted for a crime, even if it's in another country. So, just so you know.
We are targeting very violent threats to our community.
I'm not going back to Haiti.
One of those threats is this illegal alien from Haiti. ICE says he's a gang member with 17 criminal convictions in recent years.
Trump, you feel me? Yo, Biden forever, bro. Thank Obama for everything that he did for me, bro.
ICE Boston quickly takes down its next targets, including this illegal alien from Brazil who has an Interpol red notice for armed robbery.
So another one, an Interpol red notice for armed robbery. Person from Brazil. You saw the guy that said he's not going back to Haiti. Well, guess what? These people are now being pulled from their homes, pulled off the streets. Okay? So again, this is what we're going to see according to experts. They are saying that the Trump administration is not just handing out more food, building more homes so more people come in. Right? They're not doing that. What they're trying to do is eliminate the problems at the source. And the problems, which has been going on for years, is that too many people were coming into the United States illegally. We don't even know how many people actually came in, but what we've seen is that we have a housing shortage. We have a food shortage. We have a fuel shortage. Why do we have all these shortages? Is it because we grew too quickly? Yeah, that's what the Trump administration is to believe. So, let's keep listening.
This Salvadoran illegal alien charged locally with rape and released by a sanctuary jurisdiction.
Señor, ¿cómo se llama?
And this Dominican illegal alien charged with assault with a deadly weapon and heroin trafficking. Officers also arrested this Guatemalan MS-13 gang member facing gun charges. ICE says he was released from local custody just the day before. Their detainer request was ignored because of sanctuary policies. And in a sign of shifting priorities with the new Trump administration, this man, who was in the same apartment as the target, was also arrested after ICE determined he's also in the U.S. illegally. This is what ICE calls collateral.
So there you go. ICE agents are arresting people all over the United States. It's going to happen. Now, this is not about immigration. This is not about ICE. This video is about how are we going to bring down the cost of living crisis. Again, according to experts, and not just experts from the Trump administration, from the Biden administration as well, whether you want to believe either one, it's up to you. But what they have said is that the reason why we have a cost of living crisis is not because of all the trillions of dollars in stimulus that we spent. No, that had a little bit to do with it, but it's because of all the benefits we were giving after the pandemic. Even after, years after the pandemic, we are still giving benefits to people for food, right? For shelter, insurance, handing out cell phones and credit cards in New York, right? So people can buy whatever they want. Well, many people from other countries, whether it's from Venezuela or Brazil or China or anywhere, were coming into the United States, sneaking in and actually using our resources. So according to experts, again, from both administrations, they are saying that if we actually didn't give all these resources to all the illegal immigrants that came in, then the American people would have more and we wouldn't have a cost of living crisis. What we'd have is kind of inequity where the American people receive everything that they were promised and pay for, but then the illegal immigrants are going to be towards the bottom and are going to be struggling. According to both administrations, they say those are the people that have to work harder to get into the U.S. Those are people that have to come in with a degree, with some type of skill that they can use and implement and build a life for themselves. So, we'll see what happens moving forward. But again, we are just 3 days into the new administration and already we're seeing changes. So, we'll see what happens and what changes are to come next. But that is what we know as of today. So again, thank you guys for watching. Consider subscribing and I'll see you guys on the next one.